All right, here we go. Algebra 1, we're moving on. Absolute value equations and inequalities. Just taking the same concepts we've worked on. We've talked about absolute value in the past. We're going to look at it again here. And then we'll continue on with our inequalities. Our essential question: how is solving an absolute value inequality similar to solving an absolute value equation? Okay, you'll recall about the equation. Remember, the absolute value, okay, is always a positive value. And whatever is inside, in this case 3x minus 1, it can equal 8 or it can equal negative 8. Okay, just like I wrote here. Because then once you take the absolute value of that, you'll come up with your positive 8 answer. So with that idea, and I think we talked about it something like this before too, is if you had the absolute value of x is equal to 7, then x could be positive 7 or negative 7, okay, because when you take the absolute value of it, you'll get 7. The same thing follows here, and that's why we got the two equations. Remember this: when you're doing absolute value, there are always two equations, okay? You're solving for whatever's inside equal to that positive number, and then what's inside can equal that negative number also, okay? If there's anything outside added or subtracted, do the opposite and kick it over to the other way. If there's something being multiplied out here, then divide it out. Okay, we want to isolate that absolute value just like we do every other equation where we try to isolate that variable. Here we isolate the absolute value, write our two problems, and then we're going to solve them just like we always have. X equals 3 in this case. Add the 1. 3x equals negative 7. X equals negative 7/3. Okay? As long as you have those two answers and you plug them back in, you'll get a positive or a negative 8. You take the absolute value, you get positive 8. Okay? Same thing flows with the inequality. Okay? You get something like this. Again, you isolate it. If there's anything added or subtracted, do the opposite, kick it over. If there's anything multiplied, divide it out. We've done similar problems like this already. Then you're going to write your two equations. What's inside will be greater than or equal to 5, or what's inside. Okay, now we're going to make this negative 5. Remember in the other one we said it could be positive or negative. What's the rule when you change or multiply or divide by a negative when you have inequalities? You flip your symbol. So you have to do that here also. Okay? When you write the negative, flip the inequality. That's a big one. Flip inequality when negative. Okay? And then just do it like we've been doing it. Subtract the 4, but you can do the opposite. 2x greater than or equal to 1. Divide out the 2. X is greater than or equal to 1/2. Okay, over here subtract the 4. 2x would be less than or equal to negative 9. Divide the 2 out. X is less than or equal to 2 goes into 9 4 times, so if you want to look at it like that, no problem. Remember, graphing these things. Negative 4.5 is there, you're going to get a dot, and x is less than. Okay, 1/2 is right here, you're going to get a dot, and it's greater than, so boom. So any number to the left of negative 4.5 or to the right of 1/2, you can plug them into here, and you're going to get a true statement. Okay. Last couple little things to think about here. If you simplify your equation, your absolute value or the equal, to where actually really the absolute value when it's equal, if the absolute value is equal to a negative number, is that possible? No, you're not going to, because we said the absolute value is always a positive value. So if you get something like this, the absolute value cannot equal a negative. So what's your answer here? No solution. Okay? So anytime you isolate the absolute value, you got it equal to a negative. The answer is no solution, because there is no number you can plug in for x and then take the absolute value and get a negative. Okay? So absolute value equations, you always have your two equations, set them equal to the positive and the negative, and solve it. Okay? When you get the inequality, you're going to do the same thing. Isolate the absolute value, and then use the same sign, except when you come over here and make it negative, you got to flip it. That's the big thing. And then solve the two inequalities just like we've been doing. Okay? When you come into class tomorrow, we'll look at some more practice of this and some application. We're doing good so far. Keep doing what you're doing. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one. Bye.